It's my pleasure to bring you this important screening and panel discussion from Pivot TV and the National Association for Media Literacy Education in order to raise awareness among you, the millennials, the 18 to 34-year-olds. Why to raise awareness? To help you gain digital and media literacy skills to be critical thinkers, effective communicators, and active citizens in the emergent global society. So I don't know if you know that this event coincides with the birthday of the World Wide Web. The web's going to be 25 years old next week on March 12th, and according to the most recent Pew Research Center data, the general consensus is that the internet has been a plus for society and an especially good thing for individual users. Almost 9 out of 10 adults use the internet, and more teens and college students. You are the generation who has grown up with the internet. So give me a show of hands. How many of you are constantly connected to your digital device? So you're always watching TV, you're tweeting, you're binding, you're pinning, you're doing everything. How many of you sleep with it next to the bedside? I always ask students that, right? So you spend all this time in the wired world. How digital media savvy are you? How many of you, with a show of hands, how many read the privacy policy or the terms of agreement before you sign on? Really? Okay, sometimes. Okay, the truth comes out. How many of you have been a victim of credit card hacking or a loss of privacy online? More than we want. How many of you have unintentionally miscommunicated something online that impacted a relationship? How many retweeted Ellen's Oscar-winning selfie? How many know what media literacy is? How many don't? How many are not that familiar with the concept? Those of you who do you consider yourself media literate? Do you apply media literacy skills every time you go online? I know many of you have taken my classes and you can't get out of my class no matter what you take without learning media literacy. Are you applying what you learn? Yeah, you are? Where did you learn your skills from? Did anyone learn them in high school? Anyone learn them in middle school? You learned them from your mom. Anyone learn them in elementary school? So you're telling me if you are media literate, you learned them here at the university, right? That's pretty amazing that it took that long. So panelists, I've just introduced you to your audience. They are the millennials, and they are media consumers and content creators, and they are our future leaders, thinkers, and innovators. So now allow me to introduce you to them. So it's my pleasure to introduce first Jaime Uzita, who is the Senior Vice President of Social Action at Participant Media, the entertainment company that produced Steven Spielberg's Lincoln, Waiting for Superman, Inconvenient Truth, Food, Inc., and The Help. He oversees social action activities for Pivot, the company's new TV network, and in this role, Jaime spearheaded the channel's major digital and media literacy campaign, Eyes Wide Open, and the social action initiatives for shows such as Hit Record and Raising the Cane. He has worked at the intersection of media and social change for over a decade. He developed several of MTV's pro-social campaigns, including the Emmy Award-winning Choose or Lose and Fight for Your Rights initiatives. He also advised organizations such as the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation and CNN on marketing strategies. Previously, Jaime held political positions at the White House and the Departments of Treasury and Commerce under the Clinton administration. He graduated from the University of Houston with a BA in political science and earned his MBA from Columbia University. And I would be remiss if I didn't mention that the CEO of Participant Media, Jim Burke, is a CSUN alum who was conferred an honorary doctorate at CSUN in 2011. Tessa Joels is the president and CEO of the Center for Media Literacy, the pioneer educational organization in the field of media literacy that was founded by Liz Toman, who I actually first met when we were both in graduate school at USC Annenberg. She was in the first master's class and I was in the first PhD class. This is many years ago. Tessa co-authored the Center for Media Literacy Media Lit Kit, a collection of media literacy resources featuring professional development and curricular materials that focus on the expanded vision of literacy in the 21st century. She actively contributes to the field as a speaker, writer, and consultant, and also founded the Consortium for Media Literacy to provide research and a monthly newsletter publication. Tessa has been a colleague of mine in the field of media literacy for more than a decade, and I can attest to her passion to spread media literacy to students, parents, teachers, community leaders, policymakers, and the media industry. John Simpson, on my right, is a consumer advocate for Consumer Watchdog and director of its Privacy Project. A leading voice on technological privacy, his investigations of Google's online privacy practices and book publishing agreements helped trigger intense media scrutiny and federal interest in Google's business practices. For the last year, he has been an invited expert participating in the W3C's Tracking Protection Working Group. John is also a veteran journalist who has held top editing positions at international, national, and community newspapers. Most recently, he was executive editor of Tribune Media Services International, a syndication company, and previously served as deputy editor of USA Today and editor of its international edition. John holds a graduate certificate as a Gannett Fellow from the Center for Asian and Pacific Studies at the University of Hawaii, and an MA in Communication Management from USC Annenberg School. And John should feel at home here, given that he taught journalism at Dublin City University in Ireland. Diana Winter is a film and TV director and teaches media theory and criticism in the Cinema, Television, Arts Department at CSUN. Her episodic directing credits include numerous series for Nickelodeon, Paramount TV, and Showtime, including Soul Food, The Parkers, and Moesha. Her feature film, Happy Sad, won special jury recognition at the Los Angeles Pan-African Film Festival, and her ABC TV movie, Daddy's Girl, which featured music sensation Lauryn Hill, garnered her an Emmy nomination for Best Director. She also was an executive producer as ESPN's Bearing the Torch: Politics in the Olympics, a documentary chronicling the history of the Olympic Games in the 20th century. Diana actually started her career in theater and has been a recipient of the National Endowment for the Arts Directors Fellowship, and many of you know me as Professor Eisenstock. I also wear another hat. I am a media education consultant. Some of you are aware of the Digital Media Literacy Toolkit that we just built for the National Eating Disorders Association, which went up on their website this past week during National Eating Awareness Week. I also have been consulting for many, many years, beginning with the American Academy of Pediatrics, helping them build their Media Matters campaign. I work with the National Youth Anti-Drug Media Campaign. I've spoken to the National PTA, to a number of hospitals, Cedars-Sinai Residency, Common Sense Media, the Academy of Television Arts and Sciences, but you know me just as Professor Eisenstock teaching at the university. So we're going to start